If your work is going well, you're shooting a lot of pictures. You've got your eyes open, so you're seeing lots of cool subjects, and when you shoot them, you're working them. You're trying lots of different compositions, you're shooting from different points of view, you're playing with different exposure ideas. That means you're coming home with a lot of shots of the same things. And odds are there are only one or two, or maybe a handful of those that you actually like. There's no reason to bother correcting and editing images that you don't like. So the next step in your workflow is to identify your select or keeper or pick or favorite images, whatever you want to call them. These are the images that you will pass through the rest of your workflow. And we take this step to ensure that we don't spend a lot of time adjusting an image only to discover that there's a better shot of the same thing later. And I do that here in library mode. And Lightroom has some kind of standard features that you're going to find in any image browser or workflow application. So this is a day's worth of shooting from a couple of weeks ago in Yosemite. And the first thing that happens when you look at these thumbnails, at least the first thing that often happens for me when I just see the screen full of thumbnails, is disappointment. Because I can look right now and go, oh, wow, everything looks really flat and so on and so forth. You've got to get in you've got to remember that these images aren't done. They're straight out of the camera. They need work. So I have to try and not judge while I'm doing this. All I'm looking for are compositions that I think are going to be good. So I can click on an image here, and in Lightroom I can just press the spacebar to see a larger view. And now I'm remembering why I shot this image. It was morning and there was this incredible fog on the ground, and there was this little guy right here. So I worked to try a couple of different compositions. Apparently I only tried shooting one with the little guy in it once. So I was paying attention to the light on the trees, I was paying attention to the fog, and the fog was moving very quickly, so I was shooting a lot. I was also playing with where I wanted to put the horizon. So, oh, and there's the little person again. So I can go through here. Maybe there are none of these images at all that I like. Maybe I want to just abandon the whole thing, but I don't think so. I think I'll pick one of these and say that I like it okay. I'm going to go, actually, I'm just going to go with that first one. What I need is a way of recording that this is an image that I like. In Lightroom, I can assign ratings of 1 to 3 stars. Actually, 0, 1 to 3. What am I saying? 0 to 5 stars. I tend to give the ones that I like either 2 or 3 stars. I pick the middle of the rating range because I want headroom. There might be times later when I come back through and go, well, actually, that's not nearly as good as one that I saw later, or it's better than one I saw later. I've got room to add or subtract ratings. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. I can do that in Lightroom just by pressing 3. And here it tells me set rating to 3, and now I can see that this has 3 stars. And so that's just what I'm going to do here. I'm going through my images, looking at the ones that I like. That's a nice shot. I'll give that 3 stars. I don't necessarily, oh, actually I like this one better. So I'm going to go back and downgrade this one to 2 by pressing the 2 key and put that one up to 3. What I'm looking for mostly is composition, but I might also want to consider sharpness. Did I get things in focus? I can zoom in here. And my depth of field is pretty shallow here. That may be a deal breaker. I'm going to keep this at 3 stars. I'm looking for other technical problems with my hand in front of the camera. Was there a bad lens flare? That's a nice one. I'll keep that. And I'm just working through, oh, now here the fog got thicker, so I'm liking this one better. I'm going to keep that one and lower that one to 2. And now I'm going to just do that for the whole shoot. When I'm done, I definitely like that one. When I'm done, I'm going to go back to my grid view, and now I can see that, oh yeah, there are some that I selected as being worth working on and some that I didn't. I would like to look at only my select images. Well, I can do that down here with this filter. You can see right here, greater than or equal to and a number of stars. If I set this to greater than or equal to 2 stars, now I'm looking at only images that have a rating of 2 or 3 stars. So now I've gotten all that clutter out of my way. I'm looking at only the good images. I'm ready to pass these on to the rest of my workflow. This is why this is such an important step. I am filtering out the chaff. I am getting in my head an idea of what I came back with, what's good, what's bad. I want to show you one other cool thing that Lightroom and several other workflow applications have. So I've got these 6 images here of the same subject. Out of all of those, I've picked one that I like. I'm going to select all of these images and do something called stacking. I'm going to stack them so that now I see this. a single image with this little icon up here with a 6 on it. That means there are actually 6 images in this stack of images. If I click on that number, it opens to reveal all the ones inside. This is a really handy workflow tool. If you're not going to use Lightroom, it's well worth looking for another application that includes a stacking feature, as well as the rating features that we've seen here. Rating, filtering, stacking, these are essential tools for getting organized before you move on with the rest of your workflow.